The Suomi SMG, also known as the Suomi KP31 or Finland Machine Pistol Model 1931, is a 5-star SMG that is available through both normal and heavy construction. The Suomi KP31 SMG first went into production in 1931, being produced by Tilakoski Oy, and was based on the KP26 model of SMG designed by Lieutenant Y. Koisken and Master Armorer Aimo Lahti. When the Winter War started in 1939, the Finnish Defense Forces were armed with 4,000 of the SMG, later having the design altered in 1942 to add a muzzle brake. Lahti disliked the addition of the muzzle brake to the point that he tried to get the designer of it court-martialed. Multiple experiments were conducted with magazine size throughout the Suomi's life cycle, since the 20-round column magazine was found to be too small because of the Suomi's high fire rate, while the 40-round Ranger drum magazine had the typical jamming issues associated with drum magazines. During the Continuation War, the Swedish 50-round coffin magazine and the 71-round drum magazine were experimented with. The coffin magazine had mechanical failures due to spring or reassembly issues, but was chosen over the 71 drum magazine designed by Koisken. The Suomi is a straight blowback submachine gun, which fires either the 9x19mm Parabellum or 7.65mm Parabellum cartridge from a 20, 36, or 50 round box magazine or a 40 or 71 round drum magazine at a fire rate of 750 to 900 rounds per minute out to a range of 200 meters. In her character art, drawn by Onmi, Suomi wears a light blue Finnish Army uniform with brass buttons and a double-breasted coat, fur-trimmed collar, blue pinstripe skirt, white thigh-high socks, black boots, white gloves, a blue hairband with snowflake, and white winter camouflage overcoat. She holds her Suomi SMG with both hands, finger off the trigger. The SMG itself is the original Suomi design with a 40-round drum magazine. In her voice lines, voiced by Toyosaki Aki, who also voices Yui, Hirasawa, and Keion, Asmodeus in Umineko, Murta in Spice and Wolf, Momo Belia Deviluk in To Love Ru, Chaos in Heaven's Lost Property, Chitose Ikeda in Yuda Yuri, Miram in Queen's Blade, Kofuku in Noragami, Seila in Fairy Tail, Yunyun in Konosuba, Altair in Recreators, Maraluk in Maiden Abyss, Aoi Inuyama in Yudu Camp, Isuzu Soma in Fruits Basket, Sakura Hanazono in Skippin' Loafer, Melu in Grand Blue Fantasy, Caroline and Justine in Persona 5, Bagpipe in Arknights, and Navia in Genshin. Suomi likes to keep her distance from others and listening to music.
皆さん、そんなに近寄らなくても。ついにこの日が来ましたか。いつもそばにいてくれてありがとう、指揮官。私の使命、ようやく果たせました。あ、音楽を流してお祝いしましょう。いいんですか？指揮官、疲れましたか？音楽でも流しましょうか？嫌いなわけじゃないです、指揮官。ただ、そんなに近いのは、ちょっと苦手です。
Like some SMGs, Suomi's main role is being an evasion tank for the Echelon. Her tiles buff ARs, giving them plus 15% rate of fire and plus 30 accuracy. She's best placed on tiles 5 or 6, but can be placed on tiles 2, 3, 8, or 9 if you don't mind losing a tile. Suomi's first skill, Cover Focus, at level 10, has Suomi buff her own evasion by plus 150% for 5 seconds. This raises her evasion to 140. This has a 6-second ICD and 8-second NCD. When fully linked, enhanced, and level 100, base Suomi has 220 HP per link for a total of 1,100, consumes 85 ammo and 60 rations, deals 28 damage, has 56 evasion, 15 accuracy, 93 rate of fire, 12 move speed, a 5% crit rate, and deals 150% damage on a crit. The recommended equipment for base Suomi is a 5-star heavy exoskeleton, 5-star suppressor, and 5-star HP ammo. This is because Suomi is mainly there to be the evasion tank against enemies for the squad, and these equips help raise her evasion. To fully mod Suomi, she'll need 3,800 memfrags, 150 dummy cores, and 10 fire control components, aka FCCs, 100 affection for all mod levels, and to be level 100 for mod 1, 110 for mod 2, and 115 for mod 3. This takes roughly 20.5 days just to get the memory fragments, though it can be shorter if there's a raid up. Getting the FCCs is much slower, as you're only able to get 2 per month from the black market, as well as 2 from the battle pass. But that's only 40% of what you need, so realistically it will take anywhere between 3 and 5 months to get the FCCs you need from both the battle pass and or the black market. Her rarity goes to 6 stars when modded. In her mod art, drawn by the same artist, Suomi wears the same military uniform as before, but without the sleeves, and the skirt is open-sided to show that she wears no panties. A fur trim corset around her abdomen, leather belts around her chest, the same hairband with a larger snowflake on her head, leather pouches around her waist, white boots with blue striped socks, black gloves, a beret with the Finnish Nordic cross on it, and a white winter coat with fur-trimmed hood. She holds her SMG in her right hand, finger off the trigger, and a Molotov cocktail in her left. When fully modded, Suomi gains an extra tile directly behind her, and they now give plus 25% rate of fire and plus 50% accuracy. Her stats are raised to 226 HP per link, for a total of 1,130, dealing 32 damage and having 73 evasion, 16 accuracy, and 94 rate of fire. Her first skill, Cover Focus, now increases her evasion by 180% for 5 seconds. It also gives Suomi a 150 HP shield that does not stack, and when the shield is active, it reduces incoming damage taken by minus 35%. While the skill is active, Suomi can't be debuffed. Suomi's second skill, Snowfield Spectre, at level 10, makes it so that every attack targets a random enemy and applies 1 stack of frost to them. Every 4 seconds, enemies with frost stacks take 10% of their current HP in damage, up to a max of 100,000, and reduces their evasion, rate of fire, and movement speed by minus 10%, then clears all frost stacks. Every stack of frost increases the debuff effects by an additional plus 0.5%, and grants Suomi a 4 HP shield. The debuff lasts 15 seconds and stacks up to 3 times. The recommended equipment for modded Suomi is her specs, the M43 flare pistol, which she gets at mod 3, and gives her plus 25 accuracy and plus 20% accuracy for the echelon when fully enhanced and calibrated. The MK31 multifunctional exoskeleton, which gives her plus 47 evasion but minus 6 damage when fully calibrated, and a 5-star HP ammo. Base Suomi is your generic bread and butter evasion tank focus SMG T-Doll, and really isn't anything unique or special unless you're a man from Singapore. Her tile layout is okay, and the same goes for her buffs, where damage would be preferred, but a buff to AR's rate of fire and therefore DPS is better than others. Her mod, on the other hand, is amazing, and should be one of your first considerations when it comes to modding T-Dolls after getting M4A1 to mod 3. Her tile layout is better than her base form, albeit with the same okay buffs, but her evasion and rate of fire are further improved to make her a better evasion tank. This can also be seen with her upgraded S1 and S2. Her S1 now gives a slightly higher evasion buff, as well as a shield that reduces damage. and she can't be debuffed while that S1 is active. Her S2 is quite the opposite, where it deals great chip damage over time to a random enemy, debuffs their evasion, rate of fire, and movement speed, as well as giving Suomi a shield. Her specs are a nice bonus too for that evasion tanking. The downsides come in when you consider that sure hit enemies exist, and evasion tanks, regardless of how high their evasion is, will get hit by these enemies. There's also the obvious cost of fully modding a 5 to 6 star T-Doll, and lastly, though the debuffs stack when it comes to our S2, they only go up by plus 0.5% to a max of 3 stacks, meaning that they'll only have minus 11.5% evasion, rate of fire, and movement speed when at max stack, which, in my opinion, is pretty lackluster. Overall, Suomi is a top priority to raise and get to Mod 3. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter and Blue Sky for updates, and please check out my other Arknights and Azure Lane videos as well.